When disaster strikes and store shelves empty in hours, there's one food category that separates those who thrive from those who barely survive. And most people are stockpiling the wrong ones. In the next few minutes, I'll reveal the 8 best canned meats that could literally save your life in an emergency. You'll discover which ones pack the most nutrition per dollar, which ones last the longest, and the critical mistakes that could leave your family hungry when it matters most. Welcome to Food Decider, where we help you make smarter choices about what you eat and store. If you want to be prepared for anything, blackouts, supply chain collapses, or worse, hit that like button and subscribe so you never miss our essential food guides. Let's talk about why canned meats aren't just another item on your shopping list. They're a lifeline when everything else fails. When the power goes out and grocery shelves are stripped bare in a matter of hours, fresh and frozen meats become worthless. But canned meats, they don't need refrigeration. They don't need cooking. They can sit in your pantry for years, ready to eat the moment you need them. Think about it. In a real emergency, you might not have electricity. You might not have running water. You might not even have a way to cook. But if you've got the right canned meats, you can crack open a can and eat immediately. No prep, no power, no problem. They're compact enough to fit in a bug-out bag, portable enough to carry if you need to evacuate, and shelf-stable enough to outlast most other food options. But here's what most people miss. Survival isn't just about calories. It's about your mental state. It's about adaptability. It's about making the most of limited resources when stress is at its peak. A bland, repetitive diet will break your spirit faster than you think. The right canned meats give you options. They can be stretched into multiple meals, combined with rice and beans for variety, or even traded for other essentials when normal currency loses its value. And let's talk psychology for a second. When everything around you is chaos, a warm, flavorful meal isn't just food, it's comfort. It's a reminder of normalcy. It's what keeps your morale high so you can make smart decisions instead of panicking. That's why choosing the right canned meats matters. They're not just nutrition, they're survival tools for your body and your mind. Now, here's the economic reality that nobody wants to talk about. Meat prices have skyrocketed in recent years, and every supply chain disruption, whether it's a pandemic, natural disaster, or geopolitical crisis, turns cheap staples into luxury items overnight. If you wait until disaster strikes to stock up, you'll either pay premium prices or find nothing left on the shelves. Stockpiling now is price insurance. It's protecting your family against shortages and inflation that are only getting worse. Compare the cost of canned meats to those trendy freeze-dried survival foods. Most canned options cost less than $1 per serving when you stretch them with rice, beans, or pasta. Freeze-dried meals, you're looking at $5 to $10 per serving, sometimes more. Sure, they're convenient, but in a real, long-term survival situation, you need volume and value. Canned meats deliver both without breaking the bank. So let's get to what you came here for, the 8 best canned meats you need to stockpile right now. We're starting with the nutritional powerhouses, the ones that pack the most benefit into every single bite. First up, canned sardines. I know, they're not glamorous, but hear me out. Sardines are a nutritional atomic bomb. We're talking protein, heart-healthy omega-3 fatty acids, and calcium if you eat the bones, which you absolutely should. Ounce for ounce, sardines deliver more nutrition than almost any other canned meat on the planet. They'll last 3 to 5 years if you store them in a cool, dark place, and they're incredibly versatile. Eat them straight from the can, toss them on crackers, mix them into pasta or rice, or fold them into scrambled eggs for a serious protein boost. And the best part? They're cheap. You can often find them for under $2 per can. That's a bargain for the nutrition you're getting. As more people wake up to their value, expect those prices to climb. Stock up now while they're still affordable. Next, canned salmon. This isn't just about protein, it's about the omega-3s and in many cases those edible bones that give you calcium. These nutrients help keep your energy levels steady, your brain functioning sharp, and your stress in check during crisis situations. Canned salmon is ridiculously versatile. Eat it straight, mix it into pasta or salad, or make salmon patties when you want something that feels like a real meal. You're looking at 3 to 5 years of shelf life and a cost of around $3 to $4 per can. That's practical and nutrition rolled into one. And just like sardines, as global demand continues to rise, so will the price. Get ahead of the curve. And third in our powerhouse category, canned tuna. This is a prepper favorite for good reason. It's lightweight, shelf-stable, and loaded with protein and omega-3s. It's a quiet workhorse in any survival stash. You can eat it straight, mix it into salads, rice, or pasta, and it lasts 3 to 5 years unopened.
Cost, often under $1 per serving, which makes it one of the most budget-friendly options out there. When you're shopping, opt for BPA-free cans if possible, and store them in airtight bins for extra protection.
Tuna is both practical and a genuine morale booster when fresh protein is nowhere to be found. Now let's move to the complete meal solutions, the canned meats that bring more to the table than just protein. These are the ones that can carry you through days of high stress with minimal effort. Canned beef stew is first on this list, and here's why. It's not just meat, it's a full meal in a can. You've got tender beef chunks, hearty vegetables, and savory broth all in one package. In a crisis, a warm, satisfying meal like this is essential for keeping spirits high and energy steady. No cooking required, though heating it up definitely enhances the flavor and the psychological boost you get from a hot meal. You can eat it straight, pour it over rice or pasta to stretch it further, or toss in extra canned veggies if you've got them. Shelf life is 3 to 5 years when stored properly, and you're looking at $3 to $4 per can, often less than $1 per serving. Beef stew is a psychological lifeline as much as a nutritional one. Don't skip it. Next up, Spam and similar lunch meats. Yes, I said Spam. Look, Spam has earned its reputation for a reason. It's been keeping people alive around the world for decades. It's fully cooked, calorie-dense, and absurdly shelf-stable. This stuff can keep you going for days or weeks when fresh options are completely gone. You can fry it, bake it, toss it into a stew, or eat it straight from the can. It lasts 2 to 5 years if stored cool and dry, and you're looking at $3 to $5 per can, which works out to less than $1 per meal. Spam is cheap survival insurance. And just like everything else, as demand rises, prices will follow. Don't wait. The third complete meal solution is canned ham. This is dense, hearty, and hits all the survival marks: longevity, taste, and morale. It's fully cooked and ready to eat right out of the can. You can slice it for sandwiches, dice it into soups, or fry it up for a warm meal that feels substantial. Shelf life is 3 to 5 years, and you're looking at $4 to $6 per can. Now, ham does tend to be high in sodium, so make sure you pair it with water-rich foods to balance that out and stretch your supply. Store it in airtight bins to protect from crushing and pests, and you've got a reliable protein source that can transform bland pantry staples into something people actually want to eat. Finally, let's talk about the versatile foundations, the canned meats that can become almost anything you need them to be. Canned chicken is lean, protein-packed, and absurdly versatile. It's easy to shred, easy to mix, and it combines beautifully with other pantry staples to create hearty meals. Soups, stews, casseroles, sandwiches, salads, you name it, canned chicken works. You're looking at 3 to 5 years of shelf life and a cost of around $2 to $3 per can. Here's a pro tip. Choose low-sodium versions whenever possible. High sodium content can lead to dehydration and energy crashes, especially in long-term scenarios. Store your chicken in cool, dry places, and rotate your stock regularly to keep it fresh and reliable. And last, but definitely not least, canned corned beef. This is the underrated survival chameleon that more people need to know about. It's protein gold, ready to eat, shelf-stable, and incredibly versatile. You can dice it into stews, shred it for tacos, or mix it with rice and beans for a substantial meal that sticks with you. No refrigeration needed, 3 to 5 years of shelf life, and often under $5 per can. It gives you multiple meal options, boosts morale with its rich flavor, and it even has barter value in a crisis. Corned beef is criminally underrated in the prepping world. It's cheap, it's reliable, and it can even serve as currency when normal systems break down. Now that you know which canned meats to stockpile, let's talk about how to actually store them so they last as long as possible and stay safe to eat. The golden rule is simple: cool, dry, and dark. Store your cans in a cupboard or pantry away from heat sources and direct sunlight. Heat degrades the quality of canned goods over time, and sunlight can cause temperature fluctuations that mess with shelf life. Think of a basement, an interior closet, or a dedicated pantry space that stays consistently cool. But don't just toss cans on a shelf and forget about them. Use airtight bins or plastic totes to protect your stockpile from moisture, crushing, and pests. Moisture can cause rust, which compromises the seal. Crushing can create tiny punctures you might not even see. And pests, well, they're opportunistic. Airtight storage keeps all of these threats at bay. Here's where most people mess up. They don't rotate. You need to mark your cans with purchase dates using a permanent marker. Then, every few years, rotate your stock. Use the older cans first and replace them with fresh ones. This keeps your pantry current and ensures you're never stuck with expired food when you actually need it. Set reminders on your phone, create a simple spreadsheet, or just mark your calendar. Make it a routine, and your emergency pantry will always be ready when you need it. Now let's talk about stretching your supply, because in a real survival situation, you're not just popping open a can and calling it a meal. You're maximizing every ounce of protein to feed as many people as possible for as long as possible. The easiest way to stretch canned meats is to combine them with rice, beans, or pasta. These are cheap, shelf-stable carbohydrates that bulk up meals and provide sustained energy. Take a can of chicken, mix it with cooked rice and some canned vegetables, and suddenly you've got a meal that can feed 4 people instead of 1. Same goes for tuna, salmon, or corned beef. Add them to pasta with a simple tomato sauce, and you've transformed a single can into a filling, nutritious dish. Soups and stews are another smart strategy. Dice up some ham, spam, or chicken and toss it into a pot with canned broth, vegetables, and whatever else you've got. The meat adds flavor and protein, while the broth and veggies stretch the meal. You can make a single can of meat feed a family for an entire day if you plan it right. Don't underestimate the power of sandwiches and wraps either. If you've got bread, tortillas, or crackers, you can use corned beef, chicken, or tuna to make quick, satisfying meals that boost morale. In high-stress situations, having something that feels normal, like a sandwich, can make a serious psychological difference. And here's the thing, variety matters a lot. Eating the same bland meal every day will wear you down mentally. It saps your energy and willpower faster than you'd think. By stocking different types of canned meats and rotating through them, you keep meals interesting, you keep morale high, and you stay mentally sharp enough to handle whatever comes next. Now let's talk about the mistakes that could ruin your entire stockpile, mistakes that are easy to make but can have serious consequences. First, ignoring sodium content. Many canned meats are loaded with salt, which is great for preservation but terrible for your body if you're not balancing it out. In a long-term survival scenario, high sodium intake without enough water can lead to dehydration, high blood pressure, and fatigue. Balance your canned meats with water-rich foods like fruits and vegetables, and choose low-sodium options when they're available. Your body will thank you. Second, failing to rotate your stock. This is the #1 mistake preppers make. You buy a bunch of cans, stick them in a closet, and forget about them. 5 years later, you crack one open and it's spoiled or it's lost so much nutritional value that it's barely worth eating. Set up a rotation system. Use the oldest cans first, replace them with fresh ones, and keep the cycle going. It's not complicated, but it requires discipline. Third, wasting money on trendy, overpriced survival foods. Freeze-dried meals and gourmet emergency kits look appealing, but they're expensive and often less practical than simple canned meats. A single freeze-dried meal can cost $10 or more. For that same money, you could buy several cans of tuna, chicken, or sardines that provide more nutrition and longer shelf life. Be smart with your budget. Focus on value, not marketing hype. And fourth, underestimating the importance of morale. Bland, repetitive meals will break you down psychologically. Stock a variety of canned meats so you can create different meals and keep spirits high. When stress is at its peak, a flavorful, satisfying meal can be the difference between staying calm and losing control. Don't overlook this. So how do you actually build your emergency pantry? Start by assessing your needs. How many people are in your household? Do any of them have dietary restrictions? What types of emergencies are you most likely to face? Blackouts, natural disasters, economic collapse? Your answers will shape your stockpile. Next, start with the essentials. Focus on the 8 canned meats we've covered today. Aim for a mix so you've got variety and balanced nutrition. Don't try to buy everything at once if budget is a concern. Add a few cans every week or month until you've built up a solid supply. Store smart. Use airtight bins, label your cans with purchase dates, and organize your pantry so you can easily rotate stock. Keep it simple and systematic so it doesn't become overwhelming. Plan for meal variety by stocking rice, beans, pasta, canned vegetables, and basic spices. These items let you stretch your canned meats into multiple meals and keep your diet interesting. And finally, monitor and rotate. Set reminders to check your stockpile every 6 months. Replace expired or compromised cans promptly. Make it a habit, and your emergency pantry will always be ready. Remember, these 8 canned meats aren't just food. They're survival tools that could keep your family fed and strong when everything else fails.
They're morale boosters that provide comfort when stress is at its highest, and in some scenarios, they're even potential currency when normal systems break down. By building a smart, well-rotated pantry of these essentials, you're not just stacking cans, you're stacking nutrition, peace of mind, and the ability to stay strong when chaos hits. Don't wait until disaster strikes to realize what you're missing. Stock up now, rotate regularly, and be ready for anything. If this video helped you prepare smarter, smash that like button and subscribe to Food Decider for more essential guides. Drop a comment below telling us which canned meat you're stocking up on first. And stay ready for anything.